This workflow has literally allowed me to put out 10 times the amount of content. I'm putting out a long form a day plus a bunch of shorts, all while working about 65 hours per week. And this YouTuber used a very similar system to upload over 900 videos in 4 months, and he gained 300,000 subscribers. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down each part of the system so you can make content so fast it feels illegal without using AI. Now, what I see a lot of people trying to do is they'll go to ChatGPT, for example, and they'll say something like, give me 10 video ideas for my niche. And then you see them and you're like, well, that was easy enough. Give me 10 more. No, actually, give me 50 ideas. And then you start feeling this power flowing through your veins and you feel absolutely unstoppable. And then you're like, you know what? Write full scripts for them. And in the matter of about 15 minutes, you have the ideas, the titles, and scripts for like 50 videos. You're like, man, I finally figured it out. Now I'm going to blow up on YouTube. But unfortunately, I can almost assure you, if you're taking that route, you're going to post your videos and then basically no one is going to watch. Because I think more and more people are getting fed up with the AI content that's out there and they're actually desperately searching for something that feels real. So in this system, I actually write all of my scripts without using AI, including this one. Now, let's jump into the system. So the part one is the ideas. Again, relying on ChatGPT is going to give you some of the worst ideas in terms of performance on YouTube. And it's important because the core idea is one of the most important parts of the entire video process. But I've built a system where I get an endless supply of ideas that are actually proven to go viral. So it's got three main parts. One, competitor research. Two, niche bending. And then three, a daily habit to go with it. So I start with competitor research because in the world of YouTube, I want to see what videos my target audience is actually already watching. This gives me, okay, what topics are they interested in so I don't have to just guess. I actually have a list of competitors that I go through and look at their channels on a pretty regular basis. And then I look for videos that are outliers, meaning that they perform quite a bit better than the channel's average. So now I've got this whole list, and actually what I do to make it a little bit faster is I add them to a private YouTube playlist that functions kind of like a swipe file. Now, if you only get inspiration from your competitors, you're probably going to look like a sad, less good version of them. So on top of that, I also spend time looking at other niches on YouTube. One of the most effective ways to get your videos to perform well is finding a title structure that worked well in another niche and then adapting it to your own. Then the third part is a daily habit. Now, this one is super simple, but I guarantee if you do it, you're going to have a lot more ideas. So as I'm on YouTube, I'm always collecting and then I'm adding different videos to the playlist for inspiration. But I've also started a daily habit of for just 10 minutes per day, I'm sitting down and I'm brainstorming different YouTube video ideas. And I know it seems super simple, but now I have like this whole bank of ideas that I can execute on. Now, the second part is the scripts. Like I said, if you actually want your scripts to sound human, I would highly recommend not using ChatGPT. Now, I have gone back and forth between using just bullet points and then using word for word scripts. But more than anything, probably the biggest unlock has been using a repeatable formula. So I'm not just starting and trying to figure out what I say in the video. So I've been using Ali Abdaal's Hives formula, which is basically you have the hook, the intro, the value, and the end screen. And I can talk about scripting more in a future video if that's something that you guys want to see. Now, part three is recording. And this has been one of the biggest unlocks for me. So it used to take me probably 30 minutes or so to record a 5 to 10 minute video, depending on how much I continue to mess up. But now I can do the same 10-minute video in about 13 minutes. And it's all thanks to one of my favorite new toys, the Elgato Prompter. I know it sounds like an ad, but it's not. So I've only had this thing for like a week, but it's already blown my mind. One of my favorite things that it does is it goes right over your camera. So not only are you able to read your script or your bullet points, but then you can look directly into the camera without being weird, of course, and actually connect with your audience. And this has allowed me to pretty easily record multiple videos in one day, which makes getting them out much, much quicker. Now, part four is editing. All right, this is another one that used to take me forever to do. Like I would record a 10-minute video and it would probably take me around 3 hours to edit it. And I'm like, I do not have time for this, especially if I want to do this on a regular basis. But in the last 3 months, I switched from Premiere Pro, which I had been using for like the last 10 years, to a program called Descript. And this is basically like an online video editor, but it makes it so much faster to edit your videos while still making them look pretty good. And I can also make some more videos around Descript if that's something that you guys want to see. Because I think there's a lot of different cool things that it can do. But honestly, one of the biggest things that has allowed me to cut my editing down from like 3 hours to now closer to 20 minutes is because I learned a slightly different video style that I do. I actually learned it from a guy named Dr. Alex. Like I said, he grew to 300,000 subscribers in 4 months and was able to put out one long form video a day and has posted over 1,000 shorts now because he has had this system built in. So he's grown super fast, but when you look at his videos, there's a surprising lack of editing. He edits and he adds B-roll to probably about the first 30 seconds, but then after that, it's literally just him talking to camera. And he's getting hundreds of thousands of views on these videos. So I'm like, well, if it's good enough for him, then it's good enough for me. So now I'll edit my first 30 seconds more, but after that, most of it is just me talking to the camera. Now, part 5 is thumbnails. And this one is near and dear to my heart because I've been using Photoshop for well over a decade, and I feel like I can make some pretty awesome looking thumbnails in there. But the only problem is the really good ones, it will take me 1 to 2 hours to make those. And again, ain't nobody got time for that. But I've had this tension because I'm like, well, I want them to be quicker, so I started using something like Canva, but typically those weren't looking as good. But as of recent, there is an update to ChatGPT, surprisingly, and this is the only part that I actually use AI in the system, that not only makes thumbnails really, really fast, but it's also thumbnails that actually look good. I made a whole video showing you how you can use it to make viral thumbnails in as little as 5 minutes, even if you don't have any design skills. So check that out.